So the College of Arts and Sciences at the University of Montevallo brings together a number of disciplines that people don't often think of going together. So by bringing together all of these differing fields and thinking about the ways that these fields can cross-pollinate with one another in the classroom, we're always asking our students to bring things they've learned on Monday afternoon back into a classroom on Tuesday morning and think about the ways that those cross-references can only expand their minds further and get them to think critically about the world that they live in outside of a bubble.
What's unique about the English major in the Department of English and Foreign Languages, how we're encouraged to think outside of the box using strong communicative tools, and how we're taught to dissect and analyze, and we are encouraged to apply it to every aspect of our lives, not just English.
Montevallo is kind of like an oasis of just free thought and mixing of types of people, and I don't feel like there's any kind of restraint on the university, and everyone is super accepting no matter what type of person you are, what you believe in. Montevallo really accepts everyone, and the same goes for the Department of English and Foreign Languages. We can have people with different viewpoints all discussing in a classroom, and everyone's views are accepted and considered and thought through, and no one's thoughts are ever dismissed here at the university.
The Department of English and Foreign Languages at the University of Montevallo is a blended department in that we have really two divisions within this department. We have the English division, which primarily focuses on literature in the English language, as well as the mechanics of writing and composition, creative writing, things of that nature. And then we have the other division of our department, which is foreign languages. And in foreign languages, we teach primarily three languages: Spanish, French, and German. We offer majors in Spanish and French, and German is something that we do kind of as a complement to the other areas.
Many of the students in the Department of English and Foreign Languages choose to double major or to major and minor. That way they're combining two different disciplines across campus and finding connections between the two. So quite often a student, when entering the workforce, will have a foreign language skill attached to another major. For example, a student could study Spanish and social work and enter into a hospital or school setting, or a student could study French and business and work on international business in their future.
A philosophy minor offers students, I think, a dimension to their degree that will help them in their chosen fields. So I think students should come to the University of Montevallo and study in the English and Foreign Languages department and think about getting a minor in philosophy, because it's becoming apparent that students who get liberal arts degrees go further in their careers than students who don't, and that they end up in leadership positions more often than students who don't get a liberal arts degree. And for me, I think the reason is because their horizons have been broadened in these important ways when it comes to ideas and the history of ideas, and thinking about the significance of their careers and what they do and what their place is in the world, rather than just doing a job.
For any student considering the English and Foreign Language department coming into Montevallo, I would just want to assure them that the skills that you learn here are entirely marketable. There's not been a day that goes by that I haven't used the skills I've learned here in a professional way. It's not just creative interpretation of literary texts, which is what we enjoy doing here, or just practicing how lovely a foreign language sounds. It's really the application, and there are more applications for liberal arts degrees and fields of study than I think people think, in that without English majors, for example, we wouldn't have any major print publications. As many people who enjoy reading magazines, someone has to edit it. You can never put limits on the value of writing skills or reading skills, and so I would just emphasize to any prospective students not to discount the English and Foreign Language department, because we are doing great things here.